Hi, everyone. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Today is January 3rd, 2021, and it's a very special day. And I wanted to make a video to celebrate a very special birthday. Back in January 3rd, 2009, Bitcoin was born. The very first Bitcoin block was mined and the Bitcoin network turned on. Back in that day, it was just a dream and a white paper and about 100,000 lines of C++ code, give or take. Not very good code, but at the end of the day, it was workable enough to attract a lot of great minds, from Hal Finney to Marty Malmy and many others throughout the years. And it grew from just a handful of adherents and radicals and crazy crypto anarchists to a global movement that has changed the world. In just 12 short years, almost $1 trillion of wealth has been created. An industry has been created, and millions of people hold and know of crypto, and millions more are coming. Our industry has shaped regulation, from securities regulation to money transmission regulation, and everyone from the President of the United States to the head of the European Bank to pretty much every world leader has spoken on the topic, vilified the topic, or lionized it. Bitcoin itself has been declared dead hundreds of times. It's endured multiple crashes. I remember the very early days when Bitcoin went from $1 to $30 down to $4 in less than 12 months. And I remember huge variability in the hash rate. And I remember a lot of blows. The loss of Mike Hearn, the loss of Gavin Andresen, the loss of Hal Finney from ALS, the loss of the founder of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. And despite all of these things and the exchange failures and the many moments where Bitcoin was at its weakest, or at least it seemed that way, the idea persisted like some sort of decentralized super meme that has permeated the very definition of finance and allowed us to abstract things in a way where we are looking for the financial stem cell. Instead of looking at assets as individual siloed things, commodities, currencies, securities, and so forth, Bitcoin inspired all of us to start thinking of assets as one thing that can become many things. It started inspiring us to be our own bank, to talk about identity in different ways, to talk about what is decentralization, a definition our industry still has yet to converge on. It also inspired numerous thousands of scientists throughout the world to write thousands of papers, yielding hundreds of thousands of citations. And these papers have covered every dimension of academic inquiry into our industry, from arcane topics like the application of zero-knowledge cryptography and multi-party computation to provocative topics such as the Ring of Gyges, which talks about the nefarious uses of smart contracts and everything in between. It's truly astounding to see the intellectual horsepower and the growth of that horsepower this entire industry has been inspired to bring to yield. It's been the industry that's been the most meaningful upon my life, and it has allowed me to travel to more than 50 countries and meet thousands of people and listen to them and get their hopes and dreams and what they would like to see the world look like in 2050. It inspired me to have a mission to give billions of people who haven't had a shot an opportunity to find economic identity for themselves, to start 3 companies, Invictus Innovations, the Ethereum Foundation, and the one that I run today, Input Output, which is the most meaningful to my life because I can finally follow my mission unhindered. And with hundreds of great people behind me and communities of 100,000 plus in the Cardano ecosystem to help us get there. Yet I owe all of this, as do most of us in this industry, to Bitcoin, because it's what got me started and it's what inspired me to reach for the stars and actually do great things. So on this day, this birthday, January 3rd, 2020, Bitcoin now 12 years old, it's truly astounding that something still in its preteens has changed the lives of so many people and the way that the world works. And it's incredible to see that Bitcoin is not only still around, but it still possesses one of the strongest and most evangelistic communities. It still challenges us to innovate and it still pushes the world forward and inspires the imaginations of both the young and the old alike. And regardless of where people sit, their personal philosophies, their favorite coins, the technologies they like, the technologies they don't like, one thing is undeniably true. We all owe Bitcoin a sense of gratitude for it bringing us to the table and giving us the resources we needed to participate in one of the most exciting global renaissances in the history of finance. Certainly, we will never see this again in my lifetime, perhaps yours too. And so that alone was worth the price of admission, and it's worth all of us to wish Bitcoin a happy birthday. So no matter where you are, whether it's nighttime or daytime, warm or sunny, no matter the weather, the circumstances, I think you could all just take a moment and reflect upon how Bitcoin impacted your life and the things that it will continue to do for the world as a whole. A long time ago, I mentioned a story about the first time I visited Mongolia. I had the great fortune to go to the Gobi Desert, and I met a camel herder. And after spending some time with him, he asked me what I did through a translator. And I answered I was a cryptocurrency entrepreneur. And he said, "You mean something like Bitcoin?" And I said, "Exactly like Bitcoin." And surprised that a man living in a ger in the middle of nowhere knew about my industry. And then he replied, "I own a Bitcoin. My brother holds it. I bought it last year in Ulaanbaatar." So if a camel herder living in the desert in a tent can somehow find a way to acquire something like this, it truly tells you where our industry has gone in its reach. And it's still in its infancy. So when we look to this birthday and the many more to come, one thing is clear: Bitcoin is here to stay, our industry is here to stay, and our best days are certainly ahead of us. So thank you all for being part of my family, Nuclear and Extended. And thank you all for giving our industry a chance to solidify itself, to get strong roots, and to teach people that the world can change if we come together and change it together. So I look forward to seeing you the next January and the next January. And the birthday wishes, I hope, will get slightly more grand, especially after this pandemic recedes and we can travel again and see each other in person again. But regardless of that, it's a good day for everyone. And it's a good day for Bitcoin. Thank you so much, especially to the Bitcoin community, which has held the faith for so long, 12 years now, and to the tireless entrepreneurs who came after, who have carried that torch to new dimensions and new places. Happy birthday, Bitcoin. May you always continue to be that bright star, lighting the way for those who wish to wander. Cheers.